Hi everyone, Mickey Jacobs again here. Welcome to Angel Chat. As you can tell, we moved the productions from the office outside here in the beautiful nature, filming from our ranch in Southern California, where hopefully you can see in the background our beloved, beautiful, non-human kids, some of them at least, because we have kind of a lot, horses that we rescue from Canada, from factories, and bring them here and kind of just let them be horses and enjoy them, of course. So I hope it's kind of a little bit different view than my office, the last two videos. So today we're going to talk about meditation. There is a lot to talk about, so I'm probably going to present it in two parts. The first part, I'm going to talk about, kind of give a general overall what meditation is, the misconceptions as to why it is I chose the topic of meditation to be the first topic. And the second part, I will give you tips or instructions as to what work. You know, my spiritual teaching, I try to be as simple as possible, so everyone can relate to, not only people that are very familiar with spirituality and all its concept, but also people that are growing, which of course that is my purpose, is to spread spirituality and help people grow and raise their awareness. So, so the tips I'm going to give would be very simple, very effective, and again, over the years I have tried everything, I mean all kind of different technique. So in the part 2 of the meditation video, I'm going to share with you what it is that worked for me. So let's start by why it is I chose the topic of meditation. First, I'm going to tell you that this is the number one, or maybe one of the most kind of misunderstood or not important enough for people. So a lot of people over the years in my line of work was telling me that they don't meditate because it's frustrated to them, or they're confused as to what it is that they're supposed to do. So, I mean, there's so many different techniques of meditation, depending on culture and depending on belief, and of course there's always more and more different techniques add to us. So some sit, some stand, some hum, some, you know, breathing meditation. So people get confused and kind of overwhelmed really, and they leave it all together. So that's why it was important for me to kind of set the record straight, and to tell people what it is that's so important about it. You know, the meditation need great amount of dedication, which, if you can recall, in the last video, I dedicated the whole time to tell you guys how important it is for you to apply the concept of my teaching to your life. Remember, I talk about it for 10 minutes. So meditation is the core of applying that to your life, everything that I teach. So, so when people come to me, and of course I realize that they don't meditate, I ask over the years why don't they meditate, and first and foremost, it's hard for them to quiet the mind, which is the essence of the word meditation. That's all it's mean. It's almost like the word is misused or overused, I should say. It just means kind of quiet the mind. Of course I understand that it's easier said than done, sure, because our mind, ego, personality, human being mind, regardless of your spiritual awareness, think. So in meditation, what we're trying to achieve is discipline the mind and kind of make sure that it's quiet just for a few minutes. So a lot of people will say, I'm unable to quiet the mind. A lot of people are confused as to, what do I supposed to hear? Am I supposed to hear something? Is something supposed to happen? So a lot of people tell me, I don't feel anything, Mickey, and therefore it is a waste of time, which I'll get into in a few minutes as to why it is not a waste of time and why it is working and what it is you're going to feel when you know it's working. So, and then dedication, you know, the mind, our mind, human being mind is lazy and destructive and negative, as you would hear me say that over and over again, the ego. So it doesn't want to do any meditation if it's waking up in the morning or dedicate some time aside. I mean, people are busy. So meditation, when it's come to spiritual awareness, be shoved to the side. Always, almost all the time. So I would say in my line of work, I see 9 people that do not meditate, and they have all the knowledge about spirituality. They know about it, they know the importance, lovely and beautiful and aware human being, but don't want to put the time and the dedication that meditation, or rather don't think that it is as important as gathering information, going to seminars, reading books. So that's why, again, the mind is lazy and perhaps rather stay in bed, which I kind of understand, of course. But once you understand the concept as to why you need to put time aside to your meditation without thinking about it, kind of like an exercise routine. Obviously, if you think twice about the gym, you're not going to go, isn't it? It's just the way it is. So you're going to need to set time aside for your meditation. So that's why I decided to first come with explaining as to what it is human beings said about meditation. So all those things I mentioned above. And then, of course, meditation is something that is crucial, especially if you kind of new to spirituality or climb up. Obviously, a lot of people do meditate, of course. There are a lot of people that got the concept and they're dedicated with it, and they kind of make sure that they try, like me. I mean, it took me many years to be able to put it in my daily routine where I don't think about it. For the most part, of course, sometimes I just sleep in, obviously, a little bit, because we have too many animals. But for the most part, I know the importance, and that's really why I do what it is I do. The core concept of spiritual awareness, spiritual growth is meditation. So I put it every day throughout the years. I designate some time aside to my meditation, and I don't think about it. Again, for the most part, of course. So I try to always get up and I try to always meditate, that is why my message to you, the most important message about this topic. So, when I talk about meditation in a moment as to why it is important, try to first make sure that you understand that you need to make sure that you designate time aside. Don't let the mind think too much. I mean, this is very simple. It just means that you quiet the mind, but you need to put a little bit more dedication to the process. Now, why is meditation important? What does that mean, meditation? As I said, quiet the mind. That is the number one that you want to achieve. So there is kind of two parts as to why meditation is important. Like a spiritual part of the importance of meditation, and there is the physical part of the importance of meditation. So let's start off the physical part of it. Meditation means that you give time for yourself, away from kids, humans or non-humans, away from spouse, away from life, away from the rush of everyday life. So it's almost like you put yourself first. 15, 20 minutes, that's all it takes. You put yourself first. You are you with you. That is the physical part of it. You just kind of disconnected physically because you are by yourself, which is why I tell people, meditate by yourself. No pets, no one around. Prefer to designate a room. Prefer outside and nature if possible. Obviously, a lot of people don't have nature outside, but even a patio is better than a room in the house. Necessary? No, as long as you do that. So if you don't have a patio and you live in an apartment, that's perfectly okay. Perhaps designate a room. If you don't have a room, designate a place. The point is you want to be away from family members and pets and noise. How you avoid noise? I'm sure a lot of you are asking me, because a lot of people ask me over the years. We have a noisy house, Clayton and I. We have 12 animals. It's like a zoo in there. So what I do, I wake up before everyone else. If everyone else get up at 7, you get up at 6:30. If they get up at 5, you get up at 4:30. Again, it's dedication to the process, which you will know why it's so important. So you get up early. In general, I found that over the years that morning is indeed better than evening. A lot of people are night people, so I suppose that's okay, but I tried it both. And usually what's happened in the evening is the common sense that you are tired from the day, but the mind kind of have all the events throughout the day to think about. So prefer outside, prefer patio, prefer under the sky, prefer morning. Don't be fixated on that, because it doesn't matter. If you do it evening, that's okay. Obviously, I know a lot of people that do the evening and that meditation is successful. But that is a tip that I thought you kind of know. So it's good for the self, it's good for you, because we come here alone and we live here, we leave planet Earth alone. We have family and spouse and people that we love very much, but our journey is ours. So when you meditate, you with you, which what it is that phrase mean. You also relax the physical body. Not in the first time, not in the second time, but as it starts getting a routine, week after week and month after month, you look forward to that time with you. No one else. Kids still asleep. Husband go to work or sleep. Animals are still don't need to eat yet. So you go out and you meditate. And it is the most selfless act you can do for yourself. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So that's something that is very important. So it's good for the well-being. It's actually good for the health of your physical body. Believe it. Don't think about it, just believe it. So the second thing is, as I say, is the spiritual aspect of it, which we're going to get in, Willow is here, we're going to get into part 2. So I'm going to have to stop for now and then continue right away in part 2, where I'm going to talk a bit more about it and give you some tips as to how to make it effective. So thanks for listening. Join me in on part 2, and thanks a lot. Bye, everyone.